Alright guys, Scrappy QnA. Hope you're doing well and enjoying your day so far. Scrappy revealing all in a Q&A that he put out, discussing exactly what his mindset is when he loses all win series in the CDL, saying that whatever happens, he knows for a fact he is the best player by far in that particular lobby, and even says that Prime Scump would have no chance against his talented prowess. Very much intrigued your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoy, subscribe if you're new as always, I'd greatly appreciate it. First of all, there was some questions about this. Not sure if there's going to be an update on this by the time the video goes live, but Sub-8 Hardpoint was out of rank for a long time, if you guys remember about this, because there was, ever since they changed the rotations, there was a contest spot for P3, whatever it was, that was fixed, and then there was another contest spot in the same spot they didn't fix, that then took longer to solve. Now they solved it, alright, great, back to normal. But for some reason, it's gone from ranked. People can't exactly figure out why, what the problems are, and questions as to whether it's still going to remain in the pro map pool as well. I'm sure FaZe would like it gone, but I'm sure that anyone that isn't FaZe, at least that can compete with FaZe, would probably like it to stay, because it at least gives them a chance if FaZe have an auto veto and they have to go elsewhere with their map pool decision making. Apparently as well, Vista Search and Destroy was not even tested by the pros. Another one of these frustrating things, and the pros, okay, they've not done the worst job of changing out the map set here, and I'd still don't think it should be their decision fully, but it's things like this that annoy me when Departures Control was not tested, Vista Search and Destroy was not tested, map and modes that could well have been viable, right? We know that some of these game modes can search and destroy, if a map is designed well, will work if the bomb site locations are sensible and the spawns are sensible, because well, there's no ongoing spawns. You choose offense and defense and there you go. But it does seem like we are going to be getting 6-star search and destroy in for Terminal. So I guess the search map pool isn't that bad, but it's still not as good as I think I would quite like it to be. There was also last night a $7,500 SGP tournament they put on yesterday, a Pro-Am tourney. Thought this was actually really good going. I thought there was a team who actually was some of the Minnesota Rocker guys who had basically had 2 of their pro players on their pro team, and then they brought in like Gunnels or something, who technically is on their team, but because he is right now in challenges and he hasn't officially been signed yet, that was kind of like okay. Maybe it's been signed by the time this video goes out. But in the end, these were some of the rosters. It's pretty stacked tournament, right? Understandably so. And in the end, the grand finals was TJ's team, Gwyn, Spart, and Blazd against Priestahh's team of Pentagram, Major Maniac, and JurNii. So pretty cool tournament. In the end, TJ's team took down the victory here. So congrats to these guys. TJ, Gwyn, of course, on the Ravens. Spart joining along as well. So congrats to those boys. Hashtag CT Esports is pretty funny. And then Blazd as well, who, like, you know, obviously Search and Destroy Demon, just one of those players that could, when he was a pro in World War II, could just never really convert that onto a LAN environment. And, well, has had a good history in Warzone, but he's had his fair share of dramas and controversies, it's got to be said, along the way. Quickly on Kenny as well, he was discovering, as everyone has, the rival is rather good. This is a clip from his stream yesterday when he was like, wow, this rival, I got just fried by it. Here he is with an MCW, and the rival kills him cross-map. To be honest, this is far from like the craziest thing that I've seen. It is how it is nowadays in the game. He did maybe miss a couple of bullets, Kenny, I don't know. And sure, should the rival be able to gun you at that range? I think it should be able to. Should it be as easy as it seems to be, even from that kill from Pred there? No, not as far as I'm concerned. So we know how strong the rifle is right now. The MCW players aren't so happy about it. For me, a lot of it is the aim assist nowadays compared to what it used to be back in the day. Like, I was talking about this on the Debjig episode last night as well, that back in, let's say, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4 even, you couldn't chow that type of gunfight. You just really couldn't chow. You would get fried by an M8A1 or by even an ICR, let's say, in Black Ops 4. One of the reasons, because certainly in Black Ops 2 and games around that time frame, were that past a certain range, you didn't get aim assist with the SMGs. You could simply not chow those gunfights unless the guy was one shot or unless you wanted to die. Some of these gunfights now that you see people chow are like, you know, they're 50-50 gunfights. Like, an SMG will just square up long range and slide cancel a corner and chow like an AR off a heady long range. And they're like 40%, 50% gunfights to win now with an SMG. Back in the day, they were 5% gunfights. Like, if you chowed an AR cross map, even I'm just thinking on slums, if you were in Graveyard chowing across to double Ds with an MSMC against an M8, you would win that gunfight maybe 5% of the time, probably far less than that. Nowadays, you know, that's okay, sure, it's cover versus not cover, but even that kind of gunfight distance, you didn't used to be able to get away with the stuff you get away with today. I just think the game's got easier to aim and everything. Doesn't help anyone though, like even HyDra is capable of getting turned on sometimes, so yeah, if you guys are getting pistoled on the daily on COD, know that even it happens to the best of us sometimes. But Scrappy has had a fair few words to say. He was playing that 7500 4v4 S&D tournament as well, but he also did a Q&A, and this is just great content. Scrappy, Dashy, Kenny, loads of these other players have been killing it lately with their content. It's great to see for the scene. Does a Q&A, and I think it was a really interesting one just to look into Scrappy's mindset really, because lots of players, understandably, lots of people, they have self-doubt, you know, they think imposter syndrome or whatever. They think, oh, you know, am I good enough in this moment? Am I gonna, oh my god, like I'm spawning against Formal, I'm spawning against like Scump and Dashy, like, damn, these guys, I looked up to these guys, and understandably, I think some players in those moments do have their, you know, weaker series, shall we say, because maybe they give too much respect to their opposition. Someone that certainly doesn't give too much respect to their opposition is, of course, Scrappy, and we know what this guy is like, and he commented on this actually on the video. He was asked the question, after getting slammed 5-0 in the grand finals of champs, what was your thought process, right? How do you reset from that? Because there was a feeling after Kismet humbled Scrappy hard in that champs grand finals that, well, is Scrappy going to ever be the same player again, right? Just talked all this trash. He's now been humbled by the Bulldog. Is he ever going to be able to, you know, get back to that level or even talk the same trash he did before? And Scrappy says, yeah, it didn't really affect me that much. Now, maybe that mindset isn't, you know, the best, just because my feeling was that Toronto simply weren't prepared well enough for the finals. You look at the way that the Subliners approached the finals. I'm not so sure personally that it was just a bad day for Ultra. I think it was a bad day for them, but I also think that Toronto were not as well prepared and as committed and, you know, to everything inside and outside of the game that New York Subliners seemed to be at the time, based on what Subliners have said themselves about the way that they approach the series. But I think from a mindset point of view, maybe it's valuable to say, you know what, fair enough. We had a bad day, it happens, and we move on.
All right, next question comes from aBeZy on Discord. He said, how do you keep your mentality high after you go 0-5 at Champs Grand Finals? Like, you had a great rookie year, but definitely just got better, and just curious how you got to this point from last year to now. People got to realize, like, bro, Champs Grand Finals, yeah, it's Champs Grand Finals, but it's just another series, bro. Like, we had our off day. Like, it is simple as that. We had our off day. If you go look at all the other matches, bro, everyone was telling you we were winning champs. It's the worst day to have an off day, but it's just reality. You know, I can't really change it. So my mentality after was like, you know, it is what it is. If we probably play those kids tomorrow, it could go 5-0 our way. So I don't think the mentality, it killed my mentality at all. I'm still like the same person. You know, I still will slam everyone no matter what. If I lose 0-3, I still know I'm the best player by far against anyone on the other team. It's just how I think, and it's just how I am. You know, I don't know if I got better. I honestly just think I'm the same person, and I'm just playing COD the way I like to play it. Nothing to my mentality, brother. Come on now. Come on. Championship mentality over here. You versus Prime Scump. Who's winning? Okay. Respectfully to, you know, Seth, I'm gunning him every day of the week. You know, we'll never know, because people are saying he wasn't in his prime when I played him. But if you're going to ask me, he was the best one on his team when he played me, and he got slammed bad. Real bad. 1.5 bad. Like, it was real bad. But, you know, Seth was good. I'll give him his props. You know, he was good. Yeah, I got him every day. But
the key for the confidence, of course, is when he says that, yeah, it doesn't matter if I lose a series 3-0, if we get slammed, if I, you know, have a bad map and a hard point, still believe with absolutely 100% confidence that I'm the best player in the lobby by far. And it's pretty funny he says that, right? Because, sure, he's got his own teammates, and he respects his teammates, of course, and he knows they're good, but, you know, in his opinion, he's the best player on the team and is the best player in the lobby by quite some margin. Even talking about Scump, right? I mean, Prime Scump. Prime Scump, arguably in terms of skill ceiling, best player we've ever had on a consistent basis. You can look at some of the players today. Simp and aBeZy, of course, come to mind because they are on that borderline now of being top 5 players ever, but Scump is, you know, top 2 for sure. And in terms of raw talent and being the best for a long time on the role that he ran, top 1, if you want to look at it from that perspective. And they run different roles, to be fair. Like Scrappy is more of like a flex player, a faster AR. Thing is with Scrap, though, is that he can do it with either weapon. There has been the talk from TJ, I think understandably as well, of course, on the Ravens, that the reason why some of these players seem to be somewhat scared of changing the meta and banning a barrel on the rival is that they want to keep using their 2 AR ARs, because you could argue that there's a few players in the league that if they were forced to run a rifle or an SMG the entire time, they'd just be terrible. And they are, flex players, but basically they've been second ARs for years and they've been getting away with it. I know people mentioned in the chat last night of the podcast we did, talking about Los Angeles Guerrillas as one example. Like, if you had to force either Assault or DiamondCon to run an SMG, I think DiamondCon would be the one to do it. I'm sure he could do an okay job. The gun is good, but I don't think that's the best setup. Whereas Scrappy can run both guns. He's done it on the Rio to great effectiveness. So I'd like to see it, Prime Scrap versus Prime Scump. Scrap thinks that he's got him hands down and he sent Scump into retirement. I'm sure that Scump might have some other thoughts on the matter there. Toronto as well are actually given here S-tier status in the flank tier list. Thought this was somewhat surprising given they placed 4th at the most recent event, but the feeling seemed to be from the flank that they believe that Ultra are the best positioned team of the top 4 outside of FaZe to get back to that point going into the upcoming stage. We know there are roster changes happening. The top 4 stay the top 4. I think it's a little bit difficult to justify this circumstance of events. I think what you can do is put Ultra down to A and have FaZe as the only S-tier team and then 3 other teams, or you can put OpTic in S-tier as well. But to me, it's kind of difficult to justify having FaZe and OpTic in the same tier, given that, they're 5-0 against them so far this year, and what we saw at the major, even though OpTic were their closest competitor. So I think I would probably just put Ultra down to the A tier, and I'd have FaZe in S and the other 3 at A. Probably how I would do it. Intrigued your thoughts in the comments below. They've then got Vegas at B. I think this makes sense. It's kind of strange to have Vegas. Like, I've been used to having these guys bottom of the barrel. Like, often Vegas or Legion didn't even get ranked in these lists because everybody knew where they were, or they would have an entire tier list to themselves called Vegas Legion or something, and if you were ever put anywhere near the Legion tier, then you were completely terrible. But now they're actually up here, and honestly it's probably justified. Now sure, they didn't have the best major, but other teams have made changes, and are they going to get better? Minnesota Rocker, maybe, but I don't think it moves the needle massively. Their team just seems so slow with Gunless and Stanley coming in. Ravens have this facility now, even though it's probably just an apartment somewhere. We don't really know what the circumstances on that are. Gorillas, they're still not going to be good online, I don't think. I'm guessing Thieves should be marginally better with Joe DeCease, but I can't say I see any of these changes as especially exciting, really. They're exciting in the sense that it's a new team, but I don't think there's any change that I think, wow, that's going to revolutionize their season. Heretics, they made a 1-man move. Boston have made a 2-man move, and maybe there's some potential there. There's potential in their team, Boston, but I just don't see how, especially on LAN and stuff, it really fixes their problems with the Snoopy, the comms issues, the other things we mentioned earlier today. Surge, they're just chalked as far as I'm concerned. But of course, what is interesting is the fact that the game starts rather soon, in a couple of days, and at least as a recording, maybe they've confirmed things tonight, but I'm not sure that all of these teams will have done. Game starts soon. Do you want to confirm the rosters? Because the roster lock has now happened, we're pretty sure. Usually what happens is on the Monday of the week, that's when you've got to lock in your roster. So, the CDL, if they wanted, can announce it themselves, or the teams can actually do so if they wanted to. We'll say for Rocket quickly with their new team of Accuracy, Gunless, Standy, and Lins, which is very interesting. They have a bit of a baptism of fire against FaZe on the Friday. So, yeah, that could be pretty tough. But very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care. And I'll see you next time.
It's dark for you probably didn't realize it, but...
It was dark. No, it was dark as fuck. I opened my fucking... Because I was like, whoa, why is it so dark? And I opened my blinds and it was pitch black outside.
Wait, the Miami one or the one right now?
Right now.
Oh. Well, so what was the one right now?
The one right now, I don't know. The fucking sky just went black, bro. I'm not even trying. Everyone thinks I'm trying to be fucking stupid. I actually don't fucking... I've never seen that in my life. In Australia, that has never happened. My whole 22 years of living, I have never heard or seen or anything like that. A fucking eclipse. What is that? I only know fucking... Okay, first planet is Mercury. It goes Mercury, Venus, Earth. Fuck. What's the next one? Mercury, Venus, Earth. What's 4, bro?
Saturn.
No, is it Jupiter? Saturn? Jupiter?
I actually
don't know. But wait, what? I don't even think I know. I don't even think I know. No. I'm so stupid.